Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. What is the way we should practice knowledge? That was the topic we have discovered in this concluding session of the third chapter of Yoga Vasishta. So, we were told the story of Leela, and in that the three kinds of spaces were indicated: conscious space, mind space, and the gross space. And to attain to this gross space, what is the spiritual practice? We have to understand this. And for that, we were told a story of Leela. And this Leela asked that, kindly tell us, how do we practice this knowledge? So, तच्चिंतनम तत्कथनम अन्योन्यं तत्प्रबोधनम एतदेक परत्वं च तदाभ्यासम विदुर्बुधा. Only one theme that is entertained in the mind to the exclusion of everything. And atyanta bhava sanpattau jnatu neyasya vastunaha. So one has to practice again and again absence as the object of perception. This is what we have tried this morning. When we make absence as the object of contemplation, absence being only one, there will not be more thoughts than one. When there is only one thought, it dissolves. Mind dissolves. Second thing, absence has no beginning and no end. And therefore, when we contemplate on the absence of sound, etc., then the mind also dissolves, and what remains is that which is without beginning and without end, the pure consciousness. So, sargadaiva notpannam drishyam nasteva tattada idam jagat aham cheti bodhabhyasam vidupare. Sargadau eva na utpannam drishyam na asti eva tada. One has to again practice. This is called as the practice of knowledge, that even before the beginning there was nothing, and now also there is nothing. There are three things. One is something is existing. Second is nothing is. And the third thing is, although it is not, it appears. I was talking to one school children on this topic. So I give them example. I say, look here, there are eyes above my nose, is it not? Yes. This is called as existence. They are. Yes. Are there horns on my head? No, they are not. Non-existence. When I was talking, there was one student absolutely not interested in anything. Looking some here and there, what this fellow is talking. So I asked him. I said, hey, just now I asked you a question. Do you see the horns on my head? He said, not for now. Who knows? May appear. So that which does not exist, but which appears, is illusion, mithya pratyaya. Now this definition, if you apply in letter and spirit, you will come to know all the possessions and all the relations fall in this category. See, friends. Husband appears, doesn't exist. Wife appears, doesn't exist. See, friends. After this is recognized that this is an illusion, then we don't have to do anything. See, it is something like this. We stand before the mirror and see so many things. Our face from different angles. And we don't get carried away because we know, although we are looking at the reflection, but we are seeing us. Therefore, there is no enmity. There is no nothing. See? Please come. So, when a bird is looking at the same mirror, the bird sees his reflection, and when the reflection of the bird is seen by the bird, what the bird does? He starts pecking. He starts fighting. Because the bird has not understood. It is just an appearance. It doesn't exist. Now that bird, whatever he may do japa, aham brahmasmi, aham brahmasmi, aham brahmasmi. That bird may go to holy places. The bird may give the things in charity. The bird may do pranayam, asana, meditation. Will it going to change? So what should be the spiritual practice for the bird? Simply come to know the illusion as an illusion. That's all. The only way to get out of this catch of 22 is only this. Know for certain this is just an appearance. See, friends. When we say about illusion, we must know also what exactly illusion is. Illusion is that which appears under n number of conditions. If those conditions are not fulfilled, it doesn't appear. For example, the mirage waters. Mirage waters appear only when the sun rays dash the earth in a perpendicular angle. Then because of the heat, the sun rays get refracted, and the refracted sun rays appear as if it is water. So what are the conditions? It must be day. Second thing, there must be sun in the sky, no clouds. Third, must be on the top of our head. And we also must be at a particular angle. Then only it appears. If these conditions are not fulfilled, it doesn't appear. Suppose somebody tells you, hey, I was coming in the evening, it was pretty dark, but on the way I saw so much of mirage waters. Bluff. Evening you never see mirage waters. In the same manner, now apply this thing to our experience. This waking world where we are comes into existence only if, condition number 1, we are identified with our body. Condition number 2, our mind is functional. Condition number 3, our sense organs are functional. Then only this world comes into existence. If some conditions are not fulfilled, this world doesn't exist. Therefore, in the deep sleep, when we are not identified with our body, where is the world? Therefore, the world appears. It doesn't exist. This is one understanding of illusion that the world is. Now the second understanding. This camera exists. It is. I also exist. I am. So as regard existence is concerned, it is common. It is not the inert existence, and I am not the conscious existence. Existence is existence. But now it is differentiated. I versus you. See, friends. So this notion that I am other than the world is illusion. So when we take this world is nothing but my own extension, the desire for the world will disappear. See, friends. Therefore, this is called as Brahma Abhyasa. This is called as the practice of knowledge. It is not taking the mala in the hand, getting entangled. No. So, sargadau eva nautpannam drishyam nasti eva tattada. So, before the creation, there was no world. So, it comes in between and again it disappears. Idam jagat aham cheti. Then what is the reality? Therefore, the only reality is aham cha iti. Only I alone is. If I is not there, my wife doesn't exist. If I is not there, my property doesn't exist. If I is not there, my nation doesn't exist. Everything is supported by this I. This is the reality. Everything in this world is experienced as non-existent one or the other time. In the waking experience, the other three are experienced as non-existent. In the dream, other three are experienced as non-existent. But there is never a time when we can experience our own absence. That eternal presence is the ultimate truth. On this eternal presence, because of the conditioning, multiplicity appears. Like on one man, the three conditionings create out of one man three things: the son, the husband, and the father. The same man. And if you want to see where are the three persons in that man, find out, try to do the operation dissection. Where is the husband in the man? Where is the father in the man? Where is the son in the man? Nowhere. So those who are not existing, they are miserable. Now how can you help somebody who doesn't exist and is miserable? Think, friends, with this knowledge, when we lead our life, we simply play the role like an actor on the stage. There is no a king on the stage. The actor knows he is not a king, but he is playing the role. In the same manner, we will all have to play our role. The role of a husband, the role of a father, the role of a son. Play the roles. But at the same time, never forget, basically you are a man. And therefore, as is the role, do the acting. Meaning, do not react, only act. See, friends, this is called as practice of knowledge. Practice of knowledge is not only remembering it by heart. Dharma kshetre, guru kshetre, samveda, ayusa, mahamaga, pandava, chaiva. It's not going to help you anywhere. See, friends. Therefore, sargadau eva notpannam drishyam nasteva tattada idam jagat aham cha iti yogabhyasam vidupare. Therefore, all these things, everything is nothing but the supreme reality, that is our essential nature, and all that is appearing as other than us is not real. Discard it. Drusha sambhava bodhena raga dveshaditanave rati balodita yasau brahma abhyasa uchyate. Drusha asambhava bodhena. When we come to know that the objectivity is an illusion, then raga dveshaditanave, then all the likes and the dislikes will start waning away. When we know this is an illusion, it is not real. One example. There was a couple and they had a son. And his birthday was coming that particular evening. They wanted to celebrate. So the child was supposed to come back from the school at about 4 o'clock. And then evening they will have the party, children's party. So the father thought, let us give the child a surprise to his birthday. So the husband and the wife decided, hey, when he comes home, let him be just like normal, don't tell him anything. When I come home, I'll knock the door. I'll put on the tiger skin and I will have the mask of the tiger on my face. And when I knock, ask him to open the door. And then I say, oh, and he will be frightened, and we'll have fun. This is what the father decided. But whatever the husband decides, if the wife accepts, then she is not a real wife. Wife is the one who likes to spoil the game of the husband. So she told her son, look here, your dad is going to do this. Don't be afraid, okay? The poor dad, he never knew. This is the conspiracy played. Evening, he came, knocked the door. Mother told, beta, go and open. So he opened the door. And father with the tiger skin and all. And the child knew it's a dad. So he came and he rode on the tiger. And then the father was surprised. How come the son is not afraid? So after getting inside, he said, son, you are not afraid? No. How come? Mummy told me. Satyanas. See, friends, when the child knew it is not real, will he have likes and dislikes? In the same manner, Drishya asambhava bodhena. When we come to realize this fact, this is not real. See? There was one NRI's old father. He came to USA for the first time from UP, Uttar Pradesh, absolutely illiterate, nothing knowing, never gone out of that small useless village. And when he came there, the son and the daughter-in-law used to go for work. So they used to put the old man in a mall, give him some dollars, spend your day, we will pick you up. So this old man will go and sit and watch things here and there and all that. And there was one lady, he started talking to her, hey, I like you so much, you know. Hey, you have got such beautiful golden hair. In India, we have got all black hair. I like them so much. So she said, okay, took out and gave. It was a wig. Then he said, I like your teeth, they are so beautiful. She took out the denture and gave. Once he comes to know this, will he love her? See, friends, the day you come to know and accept this is not real, you are real. Now observe this in your own life. Suppose you are sitting for taking food, and that very moment you get a WhatsApp or a phone or a message, some very bad thing has happened, some accident, something like that. Will you be able to enjoy the food? Think. Therefore, friends, Drishya asambhava bodhena ragadveshaditanave. Our likes and dislikes are there because we take this thing to be real. It is not real. It is only appearance. Then, Rati balodita yasav, and because of this, bala udita, then we become real powerful. And what is the real powerful? There was a great master in Vrindavan, his name was Uriya Baba, and you know that British writer who wrote about Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi, what is his name? Huh? No, I don't know, I'll get it. So, he went to Uriya Baba and he said, you know, I have come to study the Indian saints and sages. Can you show me some miracles? So he said, miracles you want? How many holes you have got in your body? And yet the air is not leaking. Let there be one hole in your tire, the whole air goes out. What more miracle you want? See, friends, therefore, by this understanding, all our imaginations about spirituality, that if somebody comes and touches the back pain has gone, oh, he is a great master. See, our Mother Teresa was declared saint after her death when they have investigated that she has cured with miracle many people. After it was established officially, then she was declared as a saint. See? So those who create miracle, they are saints. Those who are living in miracle, they are unsaints. See, friends. Therefore, here, Balodita, the real strength is this. Nothing in this world can ever create any flutter in your mind. See? Most important. And this thing became deeper and deeper in my understanding what I am talking to you. After moving and meeting so many Mahatmas, therefore one of my book I was talking to Panna, the experience of God, outside or inside. That's the book written in Hindi. Where the God is experienced, outside or inside. See, friends, once we know the truth, then all these miracles cannot attract. So, there are many people who call their Guru as God, Bhagwan. Bhagwan Satya Sai Baba, Bhagwan Shirdi Sai Baba, Bhagwan Nityananda Baba, Bhagwan Ramakrishna Paramahans, Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi. See how many of them? They don't call them as human beings, Bhagwan. Nothing wrong, very good. Now, after you have seen Bhagwan, what difference it made? The same anger, greed, lust, desire, envy, jealousy, frustration, achievement, failure, holier than thou. The same thing is seen. That day, this point clicked me. Seeing God has nothing to do with realization. See, friends, let that God manifest through us. Let us be the instrument through whom God is expressing. See, in one place, name, I will not tell you. He is a very good friend of mine. First time when I went, somebody took me there. So he was sitting on a throne kind of thing. So when I was taken, some satsang was going on. Satsang means people were telling their problems and he will give them some flower, vibhuti, and it will be all right, like this. So I went and sat at the back on the floor because I had gone to meet him. So he called me, please come. So again I went near, again I bored him. He said, please don't do namaskar, please sit. I said, all right. He said, you are a sannyasi, I am a grihastha. I said, all right. And then in that particular ashram, they celebrate one particular day as God's Vision Day. Because that particular day, that Mahatma has seen God. After that, the God has gone because he has got many things to do. He gone. Now that particular day is celebrated as this thing. And rest of the time, only he has not come, he has not paid, he is like that, she is like that. They are not like this thing, That person came, took our devotees. We should tell our devotees, once you are devoted to this one, sign a bond that you will not go to any other Mahatma. Otherwise our market will go down. What is the use of seeing God? See, friends, we have to discover the divinity that we are. Therefore, Brahmabhyasa, study of knowledge, leads only to one conclusion: knowing is being. If knowing doesn't lead to being, it is only erudition and scholarship. See, friends. Because knowing Chit, being Sat. Sat and Chit are not two. We don't experience that I am and I know I am in a sequence. We know it simultaneously. For the language purpose, we have to say, I know I am. It appears there is a sequence. But there is no sequence. Our existence, being, and our knowledge is simultaneous experience. Because Sat and Chit are not two. And wherever the Sat and the Chit, existence and knowledge, when they merge, that merging experience is called as Ananda. Ananda is not ha 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 ha. That is foolishness. That is joining a laughing club. See. And this is what happens in the deep sleep. Sat and the Chit, existence and knowledge, they merge. In case of the waking, existence the world, knowledge the I. So knower known. Knower is knowledge and known is existence. When they are separate, there is samsara, there is misery. But when the known is gained by me, the knower, when the existence merges in the knowledge, there is happiness. See, friends. Therefore, when the sense of otherness, drishya, objectivity, when the sense of otherness, objectivity disappears for good, then alone this is called as the practice of knowledge. And like I told you, from the symptoms we reach the disease. What the doctors do, they study the symptoms. Symptoms are effects. From the effect, we reach the cause. In the same manner, if we are establishing the truth, what will be the effects? That will become our spiritual practice. See? The effects will be, take an example, teeth are different from the tongue. They are separate. They are not one. So when sometime my tongue is beaten by my teeth, what is the interaction? Will the tongue say, somebody has to go to dentist and will be uprooted and thrown out? No. Because the beaten and the one biting, they are maybe appearing two, but they are one. They are one. So differences between the teeth and the tongue do not create differentiation on account of the differences. That experience is abhyasa of the Brahma abhyasa, the practice of knowledge. No curse. The tongue doesn't curse the teeth. Sometimes the other way around. Something is stuck between the two teeth. And the tongue goes and keeps on digging, and finally it comes out. That time, do the teeth say, thank you, darling, you are always helpful to me? No. There is neither thanks nor curse. Because although the differences are experienced, there is no differentiation. When this starts happening, then we are practicing knowledge. See, friends, what you will see, many people are afraid of the Mahatmas. Why? Because they are afraid. Don't do like that. Mahatmaji will become angry and then he will curse you. Wherever there is cursing and blessing going on, duality is accepted as real. See, friends, curse is possible when I accept something or someone other than me. I don't curse myself. This is called as practice of knowledge. And this practice is 24/7. It is not during meditation I am quiet, afterwards I am violent. No. So, baloditar yasau brahma bhyasasa uchyate. So, in this manner, when we are thus totally withdrawn from the world, not because of frustration, but as we are withdrawn from the rainbow, we see the rainbow beautiful, enjoy it, but we never get a thought, let me take a piece of rainbow and go home, show to my wife, see, for you I got rainbow. No. See, friends, तदभ्यासेन निर्वाणम इत्यभ्यासो महोदयः. तदभ्यासेन निर्वाणम इति अभ्यासः महोदयः. See? And when this was told by Saraswati Devi to Leela, then by this practice, now see, this is what the abhyas was done. Tat chintanam, tat kathanam, atyanta abhava sampatto, then sargadav notpannam drushya, then drushya asambhava bodhena, iti abhyasena. When this discussion, as we are doing, what we are doing is, we are practicing knowledge. In the practice of knowledge, this is not a mechanical repetition. Like in case of japa, you take the same japa, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. After some time, it becomes just a mechanical process. And anything you do mechanically, charm is lost. There is no joy. On the contrary, it becomes a burden. In Brahmabhyasa, there is no mechanical thing involved. Therefore, we told you, no meditation is ever repeated. If meditation is repeated, then it is only at the Prakriti level and the level of matter, because matter alone can be repeated being finite. See? We can repeat waking, dream, deep sleep, samadhi. Can we repeat our own being? We cannot. Anger can be repeated, silence cannot be repeated. Desire can be repeated, silence cannot be repeated. Greed can be repeated, silence cannot be repeated. Because silence is not created, silence is. Disturbed silence is words. See, friends, tadabhyasena, by this practice, nirvanam iti abhyaso mahodaya. As a result of this, the nirvana, the absolute freedom from the thought formation, has happened. Mahodaya, it happened. Sambhashaiva nishayam te nirvikalpa samadhina. And when the Saraswati and the Leela, when they were thus talking about during the night, and as a result, both of them while talking, they entered Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Morning class. See? They entered Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Thereafter, Bhuvatu Chidakasha Rupinyu Vyomagakriti, and both of them as if regained their Chidakasha, the conscious space status, and Vyomagakriti, they became like the heavenly divine beings. Then Dura Duram Aviplutya Tato Brahmanda Mandalan Nirgatyanandanu Prapte Mandalam Brahmanaspadam Tada Tasyasu Sankalpan Tatra Adya Dadrishustvime. And because of this, now they have become one with the pure conscious space. Therefore, they were able to move anywhere because they have transcended the limitation of space. Friend, these things we are unable to even appreciate because we are nowhere near there. See, the different types of life exists according to our scriptures at 14 levels. Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, Maha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. These are the 7 grades of life, higher grades. The lower grades are Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Patala, Mahatala. These are the 7 lower grades. What we see, that alone is not life. Life is much more than that. And what we see life only through procreation, life is also multiplied through sankalpa, through thought, through medicines. There are many ways. So those who have thus become subtler and subtler, they are able to experience that when they go through the walls do not touch them. See? Because they have transcended the thickness. Like our Bluetooth. Bluetooth goes through the wall. How does it go? Makes a hole. Wi-Fi we don't see, but it does work. Because they are different levels. So, these two of them, they went many places, they were hovering over Brahmanda Mandala in many orbits of the world, and in this manner they reached the other world abode where the Brahmana was staying, and they saw the people, etc., by the God's grace. Then Namostu Deva Devibhyam ityuktva kusumanjalim tatyaja jeshta sharmata sarda gruhajanena sa. So when these two ladies approached there, then those people got up and they received with a flower bouquet in their hand, and in this manner the people of that house received them. Putram sa murti pasparsha tena sarve shuchi jahu tad drishtva punarayata Leela devim apruchata. So this Leela, who had left the dead body of her king husband, and with the Devi she came out, when they went back, after she has become pure conscious reality, when she went back by the grace of the Devi, then they were seen by all the people around. So to her own son she touched, and as a result of which all of them became happy and pure. And that time this Leela asked a question to Saraswati. Mrutasya bhartur jivoso yatra rajyam karoti me tatraham kim na tay drushta drushtasmi hasutena kim. When we have gone to the other place where my husband has died and reborn as a king, there nobody saw us. How come here they are seeing me? So she says, Abhyasana vina vatse tada te dvaita nishchaya. That time you were established in duality. Now, by this Jnana Abhyasa, Brahma Abhyasa, and now what happened? Nasta asangato bhavaha satya sankalpavan abhut. But now, after listening to the Satsanga, Brahma Abhyasa, now you have grown out of the duality. Now you have merged in the absolute conscious, and therefore there is a difference between the two. The experience of duality is different, and the experience of non-duality is different. Adyasi satya sankalpa phalitam te dipsitam. And at this moment you are satya sankalpa, because whatever you think it will happen, because now you are conscious being. You are no more an ordinary individual. See, friends, it is something like a citizen of a country, if he signs a document, any value, zero value. But when the citizen of the country becomes the prime minister, then his signature gathers value. What is the reason? He has discarded the individuality and merged with the totality. In the same manner, till such time we have the notion of individuality, we are in this dual world, suffering and enjoying. But when we rise above and merge in the absolute, our experiences and the abilities, qualities will be different. Aho maya smrtyanyadya purva janma shatani me subhrantam hi maya purvam nana vidasu yonishu. When this was thus told, then suddenly the Leela appeared to know maya smrta anya purva janma shatani me. Now I recollect all my births in the earlier lives. I know now. I don't know whether you came across or not. I came across some Mahatmas. One of the Mahatmas is a very good friend of mine. Every year we are together from 1st to 7th January in Bombay. First is my lecture, then is his lecture. He is a yogi, a very great yogi. So he tells that Swamiji, I know his own last 7 lives. Once he told me, first time when we meet. And he talks about his last 7 lives like we talk about last 1 week. So casually. And in the 7th life he was a parrot. In one life he was in Jabalpur. In other life he was in Dehradun. And he say, I can show my houses wherever I was, who were my parents, everything I know. Then he asked me, if you want, I can know yours also. I said, you don't have to know, I am everywhere, where I am not. See, what importance we give to. Whether we accept ourselves to be body, or you accept yourself to be the soul, or you accept yourself to be the absolute divine. Choice is given to you. According to your choice, you live your life. If you think you are a wife, you have to live the life of a wife. If you think you are a mother-in-law, you have to live the life of torturing the daughter-in-law. No way out. See, friends. And if you know that you are divine, it's a question of what you take yourself to be. Because this is all only in our own bhavana. Nowhere it is real. This principle I learned from a child. They were playing home. And a brother husband asked the sister wife. He came from outside and he said, hey, give me something to eat, I am hungry. So the sister wife, they see every day the dialogue happening in the house. So she said, the moment you enter the house, eat my head. And then she opened the fridge. Only in the space, there is nothing. Opens. And then, take, this is yesterday's leftover vegetable and the puri, eat it today. So he says, the brother, husband says, sister, stop for a moment. What happened? You are not giving me anything, only imagining, is it not? Yes, because we are playing. Then why don't you imagine? Take jalebi and rasgulla. See how true it is. Is it not our whole life only imagination? That I am happy, I am miserable, I am successful, I am failure. If we have to imagine, why don't you imagine you are happy? Now what simple spiritual practice you want to tell me? This is called as path of knowledge. It becomes very simple. And don't get lost in God realization, I tell you. Nothing is going to happen by realizing God. God will be frustrated. Oh God, why did I see him? He is searching for an instrument to express through. You know the tragedy of gods? He doesn't have eyes. He wants the eyes to look through. He doesn't have hands. He wants the hand to work through. He doesn't have legs. He wants the legs to walk through. But all our faculties are busy. None of them are free. When all of them are free, Nothing is done selfishly. The speech doesn't talk ill of others and self-glorification. Ears, the eyes do not see the ugliness in the world. The hands are no more working selfishly. Thus, when we empty ourselves, He takes possession. And when Paramatma starts expressing through us, such a person is called as Mahatma. Mahatma doesn't mean that he gets two horns and one tail like a Onida. No. See, friends. Therefore, Aho Maya Smritanyat Purva Janma Shatani Me. Now I realize how many hundreds of lives I have lived. Subhramtam hi Maya Purvam Nana Vidasu Yonishu. And because of this Bhranti, because of this delusion, I was unnecessarily imagining, I am born, I am dying, I am born, I am dying. Many masters, many lives. This is only my imagination. We are never born, never do we die. It is the body which is born. It is the body which dies. And anyway, the body is not created by us. Why should we worry? See? When there is a car accident and we come to know, oh, there's a terrible car accident. Acha, whose? Yours? Mine? No, somebody else. Then it's okay. See? In the same manner, this body we have created, no, it's okay. Why worry? The whole thing will lead to only happiness. But we keep on worrying. Because of this wrong notion. This body is me and the soul is me. Neither we are the body nor the soul. But we are that one absolute reality expressing through all the bodies. That is our essential nature. Therefore, Aho Maya Smritanyadya Purva Janma Shatani Me Subhrantam hi Maya Purvam Nana Vidasu Yonishu. I have gone through many lives only because I have not come to know my essential nature. Here Vasishtha ji is telling Bhagavan Rama, Evam Akathayantau tau prapya sargam dvitijakam antapure dadrishidu rajanam shavatam gatam. And then they went to the inside of the house and there they saw a terrible scene. Senayo shastra sampatam yuddhe choparatanishi vidurathakya bhupasya devyo vivishatu graham. Then they saw there was a king, Vidurath, and there was a big war that is going on. And Prabudhyata tada raja sandarshanganadvayam upatya shayanad bhaktya sopara kusmanjalim. Now that king, he got out from his sleep and he saw these two ladies, Saraswati and Leela, and then the Saraswati told, Rajan smara vivekana purvajatim iti swayam. Hey Vidurath king, remember who were you earlier? Try to discriminate. Are you this body or you are someone else? Vadanti murdni pasparsha tam karena Saraswati. And Saraswati ji just touched his head or the Agya Chakra, and the moment she did that, he immediately remembered. Atha hardam tamo maya radnyo kshama kshayamayayo sasmara purva vruttandam antaha spura divastitam. And at very moment, he remembered all his past. And he devyo kimidam nama dinekam mrutasya me addeyam samatitani vayovarshani saptati. Oh goddess, what is this? Yesterday only I died in the other body. In this body I have lived for 70 years. How this is possible? I am surprised. Iti prushte tada devyo rajnya vismaya chetasa. To that surprised king, the goddess Saraswati said, Yatha swapne muhurte tu samvatsara shata brahmaha. Don't we see in our dream? Dreams are never long. They are only for a fraction of moment. And in that fraction of moment, we go to Switzerland, we go here and there, we do a lot of business, and then we have purchased a lot of property, and then we are coming back in our car with our beloved wife, and then suddenly an accident happens, and you get out of the dream, and then you come to know it was just a dream. And in that dream, we have lived for 70 years. So, the time scale in the dream is different as compared to the time scale in the waking, because both of them are imaginations. Einstein's law of relativity. When you are listening with your own interest, satsanga, you will never know how the time has passed away. But if you are pulled and brought over here and fixed, listen, then it is a torture. Think. This law of relativity, somebody sent me one SMS, it is written, law of relativity. When you are in a company of a old dilapidated lady for 2 seconds, it appears you are there for millions of years. And if you are in a company of a beautiful, young, charming girl for 20 years, you feel it is few moments. Law of relativity is only the question of time, only imagination. Therefore, if the time is imagination, if the space imagination, how this world can be real? Think. And objects cannot exist without time and space. How simple it is. Therefore, यथा स्वप्ने मुहूर्ते तु संवत्सर शतभ्रमः तव माया विलासेन तथायम जागृति भ्रमः. And the same way, because of the impact of this maya, in this waking world also, it is the same delusion. It is not real, friends. Vastu tastu na jatosi na mrutosi kadachana. In fact, neither are you born nor you ever die. This fear of death is the most miserable experience for anybody. And you may do anything. You cannot avoid death of the body. But you can avoid your death only through wisdom. When we say in the last life we have done something good or bad, therefore in this life we are enjoying or suffering, in the last life, this body was not there. There was some other body. And this body has not done anything. Some other body has done. And when this body falls, this body is burned to ashes. In the next life, you suffer or enjoy by another body. So, bodies are changing. You are the same. If we really practice Vedanta or the path of knowledge, fear of death and the imagination of death will disappear once for all. We don't suffer because of death. We suffer because of the fear of death. See, friends. जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्यु ध्रुवम जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मात् अपरिहार्यर्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि. Second chapter, Bhagavan says, all that is born must end. The body is born, it must end. Do we have the experience of birth? We don't have. When a man gets married, should we call it is the birth of the husband? There was one young couple. they came and talked to me, Swamiji, we are constantly fighting, both of us. And we know it is wrong, but we can't stop fighting. What should be done? I said, how many years you are married? He said, no, Swamiji, not now. We are married for last 15 years. I said, another 4 years you will fight. After that, everything will cool down. He said, how come? I said, you said 15 years, so you are a teenager. Teenagers only fight. They can't understand. You may be grown in age of the body, but as husband and wife, you are only 15 years. Who is fighting is not the man and the woman. It is the husband and the wife, they are fighting. And their age is 15 years. So wait for another 4 years. When this teenage goes, then you will come to know this is better than anything else. Okay. It is said that the known enemy is easier to handle than the unknown friend. See, friends, where is this husband? Where is this wife? Those who are non-existing, they are making us miserable. Can there be better joke than this? See, friends, if we have really digested Vedanta Shastra, listening to anybody's death news, if a thought passes through our mind, oh God, now one day I also have to die, then you have not studied Vedanta at all. Not even once a thought of one's death should ever get into the head. Because we don't have the experience of birth, nor that of growth, nor that of death. You only imagine. See, friends. And because we accept ourselves to be body and we see other bodies falling down, therefore we imagine that I am also going to die because I am the body. And be very attentive. There was one lady, when her husband died, I happened to be there, she was crying. So tried to tell her everything, now it's okay, we have to take care of everything and all that. But she was very insisting and argumentative. I said, Mama, listen to me carefully. You are miserable because your husband died? Yes. I said, I have got a power, I can awaken him to life. Should I? No, I don't mean that. She got frightened. See, friends, because I don't know who enters. It is an abandoned house. See, friends, this body identification is the main cause of all the problems of life. So, Tava Maya Vilasena Tathayam Jagrati Brahmaha. So, this is a waking delusion. Vastu tastu na jatosi na mrutosi kadachana. Oh dear king, near where you are born nor you ever die. Shuddha Vijnana Rupastvam Dirgha Swapna Idam Jagat. You are the pure conscious existence on which this long dream is appearing. And we call it long dream. Actually, nothing is the same. Every moment, everything is changing. See, you must have seen, the other day I was in Japan. In a mountain, there was a retreat. So, in that house, when I entered, very typical Japanese type of house, wooden one. On the left side, there was a big bowl, and there were many snake skins kept. The slough. When the old skin is cast off by the snake, it goes out and the old skin is hanging somewhere and with the air it moves. So that person, he has collected many of them, kept in a bowl. So he said there are plenty of snakes here. So every snake, within a period of 5-6 months, it discards the old skin and a new skin comes. Same thing happens between you and me. Every day, we are constantly shedding the cells. It is not the same skin. New skin comes. Because we are washing, we are cleaning, we are rubbing, those dead cells go away. So where is death? It's a constant process of change. But under all these changes, there is one unchanging principle. Hold on to that. It is for this purpose that the story of Leela is told here. See, friends, but normally what happens? We get enchanted by those pictures. Oh, the astral body has gone here and there, and it has gone through the fire, it didn't get burned, it has gone through the ocean, it did not become wet, it has gone through the mountains, nothing happened to it. There is nothing great about it. The purpose, what for something is told. Purpose must be clear. This is called as the moral of the story. So many stories are told. What is the moral of the story? One example I'll give you. In Mahabharata there is a story that there was a lady, her name was Savitri, and her husband's name was Satyavan. Satyavan died. The Savitri was a great devoted lady to her husband, and because of her devotion to husband she became very powerful, more powerful than death, and she fought with death and got her husband back. That is the story. Now the moral of the story is, if the woman is dedicated to her husband in letter and spirit, she becomes more powerful than death. This is the story. Moral of the story. But if you ask me, I am little funny kind of person, I will tell. The moral of the story is, you can be saved from death, but not from the wife. Exactly the same way. The moral of the story is, first, we start blaming the world for our problems. So stop blaming the world. First step on the spiritual path according to path of knowledge. Stop blaming the world for your problems. Second thing, who is responsible? You are responsible for everything in your life. Moral of the story. But I have not done bad to anybody. Why bad is happening to me? Because in the last life you have tortured that lady. Therefore, she has again come in this life as your wife to take the revenge. But I don't remember. You may not remember, but it is true. But now what can be done? Now behave properly with her. Otherwise, next life again she will be your wife. No, I'll behave properly. Net result, you stop blaming others, you become responsible, and your life quality changes. Then alone you can think that if I was there in the last life, if I am in this life, if I will be again in the next life, where did I die? So the principle is to come to know you are unbroken, continuous, conscious existence. That is the purpose. That is the moral of the story. Instead of knowing this moral of the story, we all the time talk about after death what happens. You go to hell. What happens? See, friends, therefore, these various topics which come in our scriptures, last life, this life, next life, hell, heaven, sin, merit, jiva, papa, punya, dharma, adharma, these are all meant for bringing to our cognition the divine self that we are. If this purpose is not fulfilled, all what we have done is simply a wastage of time. And in this manner, the story continues further, and in that story, ultimately, the whole story concludes in this manner that लीला लीला च राजा च जीवन मुक्ता महाधियः काले विदेह मुक्तत्वम आसे दुर्देव व्यनुग्रहात्. Therefore, these three, the original Leela, the reflection Leela, and the king, when they came to know the truth they became Jivan Mukta, and in due time, when they casted off their body, they were liberated for good. Therefore, etatte kathitam Rama drushya dosha nivrutte lilopakhyanam anagham ghanatam jagataha tyaja. Therefore, the story of the Leela is told drushya dosha nivrutte. The drushya dosha. What we see as other than us is not other than us. See, friends, just get this point. Colors and forms are nothing but grossified vision. Like the ice is nothing but grossified water. If there is no vision, there are no colors and forms. Similarly, sense organs are grossified mind. If there is no mind behind the sense organs, nothing is perceived. In the same manner, mind is a grossified consciousness. So, consciousness, mind, sense organs, the world. So, the world is in the sense organs. Sense organs are in the mind. Mind is in the consciousness. So, what is this whole world? Only pure consciousness. How there can be any desire for anything of this world? Because everything is me alone. Then the sense of otherness which appears, that the objects are different from the eyes, then the eyes are different from the mind is different from the consciousness, this is called as Maya. The appearance of otherness is illusion. Recognition of the one reality is the ultimate experience. Therefore, drushya dosha nivruttaye lilopakhyanam ghanatam jagataha tyaja. Therefore, through this, give up the notion that this world is a solid reality. No, it is not. Nobody dreams the dream as a dream. During the dream, it is solid. In the same manner, this waking dream makes us feel that this is a solid reality. So, unless we give up this notion that the world is real and dependent on the world, without the world I cannot sustain. No, because of you the world is. You are not because of the world. With this, we conclude this retreat so wonderfully conducted by Mr. Mrs. Dr. Gaurang Pathak ji and Panna Pathak ji, with the help of Jill and all those who are present and absent, offered at their holy feet. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.